Now, there is no guarantee that the experience you had in 2025 is going to be different in 2026. There is no guarantee, except you do something about it. The only reason why last year is going to be different from this year is because you're going to do something differently. It's only a crazy person that does the same thing the same way and expect a different outcome. And that's why the wisdom I want to share with you this evening is important. You see, for some of us, the first thing that you need to do differently this year is to learn to pay the currency of attention. We're in the world where everything is sold as fast as possible. The attention span of people is getting, shorter by the day. So they don't have enough currency called attention to pay to get what they want to get. That's why everything has to be fast. So they cannot get much value because they cannot pay much attention to the things that matter. For some of you, the first thing you need to change is to commit to listening to lives or sessions like this that will add value to you. I don't want to believe that there's anybody in my community or anyone around me that listens to me that is of the number of those that will sit on, TikTok live and just waste away their life, waste away their time. It is not wokeness. It is not you being present in a generation. You see, there are people that get wasted in a generation, and there are people that are made because they chose different paths. Don't be that kind of person that sits day and night on a TikTok live and all you're doing is watching someone live their life or make money off you because you are paying them. It might look like you're not doing something, but you're paying the currency of attention, and that's enough. There is something you will never be able to buy back. It's time. You can lose things and get them back, but time, you can't go back to yesterday. You can't go back to 2025. So my goal for this community, my goal for everyone listening is how to make the best of this year, 2026. And I've said it again and again, you will see me often time, come on sessions like this where we have to interact and do things together. So please pay attention as I go in. Now let me ask, are you ready? Are you ready for what I want to bring to you today? Are you ready? Let me know in the comment section. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let me start with one thing. One mistake you must never make. My life changed some years back when it dawned on me and I realized that nobody is coming to help me. You have seen Superman, the movie, you've seen different series on that. And people are stranded, people are, in a void, people don't know what to do, they're about to be destroyed. Then somehow, some way, a savior just appears called Superman. He just comes, deliver everybody. All right, saves them at the dying moment. But that's not true about life. Listen, you are 100% responsible for the outcome of your life. You're 100% responsible for the outcome of your life. If your life is going to change, it is because you are going to do something about it. So the first mistake to avoid in this year is to believe that there is somebody somewhere that is going to come save you. Newsflash, nobody is there. There is none of such existing. and you must come to peace. Make peace with that reality. There is no Superman somewhere. Now, if I ask you, wherever you are, let's do something. If I say, stand on your feet. Now, some of you stood up, right? You are standing up. If I say, sit down. Now, raise up your hand. You did, right? Some of you did not do that, probably because you are in transit, right? Or you are somewhere, somehow, somewhere, you probably didn't do that because you chose not to. And if you did, it's because you made the decision to do it. So it tells you that God has placed the power of choice in your hands. God has placed the power to make right choices in your hands. Whatever you do with that power now depends on you. I'm saying that you can actually make your life count. You can do something about your life. You can change the direction of things. The moment you say, I'm ready, everything around you is also ready. There are some of us that you're coming from humble background. You don't have the luxury of time to waste. You don't have the luxury of doing certain things as leisure, because there's nobody to fall back on if you fail. There is nobody to fall back on if you fail. Let me share a story with you. And this changed my life. You know, sometimes, and this is true, you were born looking like the decision of your parents, but you will eventually end up looking like your own decision. You have often heard that don't let your background put your back on the ground. At some point, your background is the reason for the place that you are. But at some other point, you now become the background that somebody else is calling my background. You must learn to take responsibility. I was on campus, and you see, I was always broke. I mean, I was sharing with some people some days back, you know, and they were crying that, oh, this is happening, that's happening to me. And I said, there was a point that I could go 3 days without food. And you see, pray, you fast. You know, there are some fastings that it is not God induced. It is not because God spoke and said, my son, fast. But you know that if you don't fast, you will not be able to meet up with your, your food calendar. So you have to fast and you have to pray. It's not God's design that certain things are even hanging on prayer. There are certain prayer points you pray, and it's a proof that you're not doing something right. You didn't get that. Now, one of the things I want you to put away this year, all right, is emotions. If you're an emotional person, and that everything gets at you, you always feel emotional. You know, there are people like that everything around them is just emotional. They're emotional about things. They say things, they're like, why not consider this? You know, don't say it that way. It is too harsh. You won't make progress that way. You must learn to take truth as harsh as it is. There are times that you call yourself and say, hey, call yourself by the name and say, the way you are going to fail. People around you may be telling you otherwise, but the truth is, you must tell yourself the truth. To your own self, be true. There are many of you that are listening now. The way your life is going, you know that you know that you know that if you continue like this, in the next 5 years, nothing is going to change. There are people that their life is just anchored on hope. That someday in the good by and by, something is going to change. A deliverer is going to come. Somebody is just going to save me. Something is just going to happen and I'm going to just make it. Hey, I'm going to pray some prayers. I'm going to enter certain things. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Whatsoever you are going to see happen in your life must be because you made certain moves. I'm telling you the truth. Let nobody deceive you. It must be because you made certain moves. Listen, this year, be a move maker. It doesn't matter the amount of prophecy resting on your head. It doesn't matter the amount of words. You saw an angel, you had an encounter. Even Jesus Christ appeared to you and said, hey, my son, you are going to be the richest man in Africa. You're going to be the richest man in the world. That prophecy alone, just holding it, you see, you can be the poorest man in the world without knowing. You know, we only measure the richest people in the world. We don't measure those that are the poorest. So you don't even know if you are there. Maybe for a day, you don't even know. Are you seeing reality? You don't know where you are or on the bottom line. Because we're only measuring the richest man in Africa. Could it be that on so and so day, if we were to check it, you were actually the brokest man on earth? You were actually the brokest man in Nigeria. You were actually the most broke person in Africa. It has to change because you are making moves. Listen, there is always something you can do from where you are to get to where you want to be. This changed my life. There was a season of my life that I was broke. And sometimes I would have to visit people. You know, when you are a serious-minded person, your time is important. But because you are hungry, you put time aside and you have to just visit people to just have some conversations that really does not have value. I mean, in that present, I would rather prefer using that time studying, reading the book, listening to a podcast or something, or praying. But because I know that if I do that, I'm going to either starve or die of hunger, I would rather go visit someone and visit them at the point where I know that if I stay maybe 1 hour, all right, food will show. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You know the person is going to cook, and you know this person is not bad, that he will cook, he will want to eat, and he will not say, come and eat. At least if he does not even respect you, you say, man of God, hey, take 1 spoon. If he does not even call you, you say, bro, the way this thing is perceiving is looking like, let me taste now. Are you seeing that now? And you just have to be there. And at the same time, you don't want to now leave such places immediately you have eaten. So you wait more and waste time. But you're angry on your inside. And you see, but a time comes that you cannot even keep up with that. And this happened for a while. And one day I got tired. I'm praying. I'm doing the things I should do. I'm serving the Lord. But things are not changing financially. So I started to think. Because sometimes, some of you need to stop doing certain prayers and start meditating. If you are praying and you're not thinking, your experience will not be different from someone that is not even praying. Because prayer is not just about talking to the Lord. It's about Him also ministering to you. Acts 13 and verse 1 and 2, it says, as they ministered unto the Lord, the Holy Ghost spoke unto them, saying, separate me Paul and Barnabas. So you go to the place of prayer, you are ministering to the Lord, and you also give Him time to minister back to you, to speak to you. That's prayer. Prayer is not a one-way traffic conversation. It's two-way. You speak to the Lord and He speaks back to your spirit. You leave the place of prayer knowing what next to do about the things you have come to pray about. God wants to speak to you. So you must learn to lie down in green pastures. Are you seeing that now? You must learn to stay still and know that He is God. God wants to speak. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs you will get is in the place of meditation. And we are fast losing this culture in this generation because everywhere you turn to, you are seeing someone praying, is pressing the phone. Everything is just trying to cluster thoughts in your heart. There is no longer stillness where you stay still and think and ponder. You get way forward like that. Many of the big breakthroughs you will get will come from the place of meditation. So this year, set out time to meditate, to think, to ponder, to confess words. Sometimes you know you are distracted. Take walks. Don't go with anything. Just take walks. Walk and walk back. Just thinking. There was that season that I was reading a book. Now let me share this story with you. I was through that season of hunger, and I got a book. The book talked about an autobiography. I was just reading and I saw that in so and so year, there were about 9 million persons, in redemption camp, and they gathered, I think maybe 2009 or something. The moment I saw that figure, I closed the book. I stood up from my bed. I began to pace back and forth. You would have thought that I caught a revelation. But because of the season that I was in, what I was seeing was if there were 9 million persons in redemption camp, people gathered, came from all parts of the world, 9 million persons there. Then if I sell something of one naira to them, that was what's in my head. I will make 9 million naira. So I started thinking, are you seeing that now? You see, because you have to make moves. Nothing is going to change until you make moves. God loves move makers. So I closed the book. I started pacing. What can I go to redemption camp to sell? I was on campus. What can I go there to sell? What can I sell? What can I sell? What can I sell? So I thought about it. The only thing that people will come there without is food. So what food can I make? Because if I say I want to come with something else and that I can afford. So I made up my mind. The closest thing then was what I saw around. People made Indomie and egg, fast food. They made, bread and egg and all tea. And I said, beautiful. I needed capital. So I drew my budget, sat down, drew my budget, things we will need. I made the cost, everything. I think then it was 40,000 naira I needed. I didn't have one dime, which would lead me to other things I'm going to show you. All right. So I didn't have one dime. So I knew that I may not have, because there is always something that you have. And this is for someone. There is always something in your hands that you have. You are not without something. Elisha met that widow and he said, what do you have in your house? He said, nothing but a pot of oil. Are you seeing that now? There is always something that you have that you can use to get away from where you are to where you want to be. That's a whole subject on its own. What I had then was my mouth. What I had was my mouth. So I called for 3 friends. I said, we're about to become millionaires. He said, hey. I said, listen. Our life is about to change forever. I got them. So I took them to an eatery. They paid for their food by themselves, but I took them. They said, I have a business idea. So I sold it to them that, 9 million persons, we're going to sell this, we're going to sell that. When we come back, we will buy a car. They were excited because you must also know how to sell. I I sold it to them, sold the vision to them. They bought into it. I said, each of you bring 10K, 10K, 10K. I will also bring my own 10K. I didn't have the 10K. They all brought their 10K. It was a day to the day that we'll be moving to redemption camp. I had to run to meet Apostle, and I want to celebrate my spiritual father. Apostle borrowed me 10K. I say, this money, go and do the business with it and come back. I said I will come back with the money. We moved there, and you see, when you make moves, God even backs it up. The moment we landed there, we didn't even know we're going to, when accommodation was going to work and all. But someone just saw us that I was, pastoring our daughter, said, oh, pastor, come stay in my house and this and that. I think that year, I can't remember the theme of the camp, then maybe Dominion or something. We wore the chef regalia and all of those things. And I started screaming, buy your Dominion Indomie, buy your... And we sold and sold and sold and sold. That we sold out. In fact, we really had time to sleep because we were selling around the clock. That was liberation for me, because from that moment, I got the profit. I moved from selling that, took the profit, invested in selling shoes, and I was able to end the circle of being broke without hope. Are you seeing that now? Because there was a move I made. Are you getting what I'm saying? Please make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing and inviting others to also join. Now, you must always make move. I don't want to overflog that. So make move. God loves move makers. The moment you're not a move maker, even God moves on from you. I'm saying you will make moves, you will fail. It is better for you to fail than for a person that has not even made any move at all. God will choose a move maker. Many times we feel like, let me just relax. If it is God, it will make it work. Not so. Oh, we think that the blessing shuts off the part of making moves and getting things done. You say, hey, when you get to the end of your rope, you don't have to struggle with less of you. There is more of God. But you see, you have to even get to the end of the rope for God to even show up. If you are at the beginning, God will even take you serious. That God himself wants someone that is at least trying to do something first, then is following. Bartholomew was there, Jesus' disciple. One that followed Jesus Christ, all the years of his ministry. Andrew was there. Thaddeus was there. And so on and so forth. There were many people there. They saw Jesus Christ all the years of doing ministry. And God saw them. He did not consider any of them worthy of being an apostle to the Gentiles. It was only Paul that God saw that this one will not fail, because in what he was doing personally for himself, he was not failing. He was already passionate, already a move maker, making moves. Although wrongly, but he was doing something. I'm saying that you can have someone doing the wrong things. That person is better than someone that is that knows to do the right thing but is not doing anything about it. The worst place to be is to be in a place that you don't have drive. You see someone that there is nothing driving the person. There is nothing moving the person. There is just static. There is no passion, there is no drive, you are not self-driven. That's a bad place to be. That's a terrible place to be. It's a curse. This year, make moves, do something. Even if don't wait till you are ready. Don't wait till you're 100% ready. You will never be always ready. There will still be things that you won't do right. But start. Start. And this brings me to the second point. One other mistake you should avoid is waiting for validation. Waiting for validation. There are people that they want, you don't need feedback. You don't need feedback. You don't need feedback. Yes, feedbacks are good, but you have to even be dead to it to have them. If what somebody says determines if you're going to do what you're going to do, then something is wrong. God's way is that you are not motivated from outside in. It is supposed to be from inside out. Listen, there are no standards. If I ask you now, how do you know a beautiful person? How do you know somebody is beautiful? Have you seen people, everybody calls their wives the most beautiful woman in the world. True or not true? Yes. When you carry a child, you might see the child and say, this child is not fine. Honestly speaking, right? You say, this child is not fine. No. This child is not fine. And you can say, this child is beautiful. But to every father, every mother, their child is beautiful. It tells you that beauty is not defined. Hey, there are no standards. You see someone getting married to someone and say, me, I can never marry this person. That is you. Because it only lies in the eyes of the builder. So if you are putting the standard of what you are doing and the acceptance of it in the hands of people, you will fall into trouble. Because it might not even appeal to them in the first place. You can't have a general audience. There are specific, even Jesus Christ was sent to the lost sheep of Israel. Paul was an apostle to the Gentiles. Peter was an apostle to the Jew. You can't appeal to everybody. So stop waiting for validation. Stop waiting for people to validate you. Let me tell you something. Now listen. If you are waiting for validation, those that wait for validation never do anything. Because, you see, it takes a lot of energy to want to be validated. And if you get the validation, if you ever get it, you won't even do what you're waiting for validation for. Because the energy you needed to do that thing, the joy you were supposed to feel after doing what you were supposed to do, the moment you get that validation, psychologically, it feels like you already got that satisfaction. That's the reason why you will not even start in the first place. Why do you think there are people that make food and many times they are not interested in even eating that food? Because they already perceived it. They already have, their mind already feels like they've gotten the best part of the food. They've enjoyed the food already. Hence, there is nothing they are looking forward to. So the moment you are waiting on someone and saying, okay, what do you think about this? And the person says, already many things are going on in your mind. The person says, wow, perfect, solid, go ahead. You may never do that thing. Because now, the feeling, the energy, the rush you're supposed to get, the adrenaline rush you're supposed to get at the end of, the success of that thing, you already got it at the beginning. So there is no longer drive to doing that thing anymore. The same applies when the person you are waiting for validation from now says, no. You see, you are already discouraged. So on either part, whether you get the validation or you don't get the validation, you won't do it. You won't do it. I'm saying people don't even know what they want. People don't know what is great. Yes, if you're going to record a song and you say, there are people that even the producers didn't feel like this song was going to be a hit. But it was. People defy odds, bro. People do. Go ahead and do what you want to do. Don't wait for validation this year. Just start. As you start, you will begin to find ways to adjust what you're doing. Are you getting what I'm saying? You will find ways to adjust. You will always get better. There's always room for improvement. So don't wait for validation. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for people to approve you. If you are a slave of approval, you won't make progress. Let me say this proverb to you. It's in Yoruba, but I'm going to translate. It says, "Ẹni tó bá kọ́kọ́ sọ ní dolóríbú, ló máa ń kọ́kọ́ fi ń búyàn." You see, it is the person that makes you or that made you an unfortunate person that will be the first to call you an unfortunate person. That's very deep. You see, those that made you the rubbish. You might say you are the one that caused it all. But you see, they are the ones that will say, "Hey, why didn't you do it?" Don't wait for feedbacks. Go ahead and do what you want to do. The world is waiting for your emergence. So I'm speaking to someone. Stop waiting for validation. You've waited for that all your life and you've not done anything. If you have to start small and do it. Number 3, the thing you must avoid is having that belief that you are an introvert. This one, you see, there is a way people think that, you see, there is nothing like being introverted. And I think this is personal for me. Because I used to believe I was introverted. Let me tell you a story. There was a time that it was so bad that I spent 3 years in a school. At the second year, whenever the teacher, says, "Hey, Tumishe," or just says "you," in fact, they don't even know my name, says "you," oh yeah, answer that question. I was smart. But the moment I stand up to answer that question, everybody, because I will sit down at the back, everybody in the class will make a 180 degree. Their heads will turn to look at me. Why? Because they were not familiar with my voice. They didn't know my voice. I don't speak in public. I'd rather, meet you one-on-one than to, talk publicly. But it was killing me. When I get home, I know that there are many things I could have said. I know that there are many impressions I could have made on people's heart. There are many things I would have done. And I'm asking myself, why? Why? But you see, sometimes it's esteem. Sometimes you're not just sure of who you are. You're not just confident in your own skin. That's why. There are people today that don't even like hearing their own voice. You want to create content. You cannot even watch it. You yourself cannot watch the content you are creating. How are we going to watch it? Some of you are too broke to not be visible. Did you get that? You are too broke to be introverted. You can't afford it. It's expensive. You are too broke not to be outspoken. You are too small. You have not achieved anything to not be making noise in the room. It's luxury that you cannot afford now. You have to break out. What's the worst that will happen? Ask yourself. That's not who you are. You think that's who you are. That's not who you are. Because when you get to your close circle, you are loud. You are comfortable. You speak. You express yourself. That's not who you are. You have to break out of that shell. Hey, the world is waiting for your expression. There are many of you that are sweet-hearted. You have a soul that is sweet. You have gifts to offer the world and the people around you. But hey, you are shutting it in because you believe you are introverted. I'm saying you are not. Let me be vulnerable with you. There was a time my school went for an excursion, and you see, I will not talk in the bus. My God, yeah, it's bad, very bad. I kept quiet, not one word. Some of you will miss even your bus stop because you cannot even say, oh wow. If you know, you know. You can't even say, I'm going to alight at that so and so place. Somebody will step on you, you would rather just endure it than say, bro, your legs are on mine. You rather just enjoy it. Something is paining you. Something is not going well. You will not say anything. People are doing things that are offending you. You cannot express yourself and say, I'm not comfortable with the way things are done that way. I would rather that you change. You are negotiating certain things and you feel it's not coming in your favor. You will not speak up. You will keep quiet. There's no way you will make an impact in the world that way. Even God will not trust you with revelation because he knows you won't be able to share it. So it means the moment God sees that you are not expressive, he limits what he even brings your way because it's going to end with you. It's going to end with you. So God pours into someone that will spread that to others. That's why those that teach, those that are continuously pouring out, we will keep having more. Because it's supposed to be like that. A funnel is supposed to be a funnel where there is transference. You have to be dispensing. You're not a Dead Sea. You have to be giving out to have more. And you've got to wake up. You've got to wake up. You've got to wake up. Some of you have lost many things. You lost many things last year because you were shy. For a lack of a better word, will shyness help? What are you shy about? What are you shy about? Those that are additions to you, that are blessing you, they can only do that. You can only be blessed because they are putting themselves out there. They are putting themselves out there. Break that thing once and for all. Break it. Break it. Nobody really cares like you think they do. People that the moment they are walking, they feel all eyes are on them. You're overthinking. Actually, people have their own problems. People have their own life. The only things that are going on in their head. They don't really care like that. They don't really care. You're not that special in the first place. So you probably are invisible. There was a time that when I was in school, I would not be able to pass the front of the class because I just felt like everybody was looking at me. But it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. You're not that special. You're not the golden boy. You're not the golden boy. So come out. The world needs to see you. We need to encounter you and be blessed of your stream. There are many of you that you have lost the love of your life because you could not talk. You could not talk. I had a friend like that. He would just be snapping picture with the girl, snapping picture, taking her out. Oga, tell her. The girl was waiting. Fine boy, but lacked something. Until somebody else came, took the girl. You were now angry. Angry for what? Till today, the girl is, in fact, she has a second child already for the guy. He is still single. He has not even gotten married. Because you cannot talk. You cannot talk. Be bold. Because it is still the same. In this life, the courageous will always lead the gifted. The courageous will always lead the gifted. Let me say something to you. Make sure that nothing of yours passes you. Nothing that you know that is of yours passes you without taking it. Be so intentional about your life that you don't just live your life to chance. I don't know how best to say this, but you see, a day has to come that you have to wake up, really. A day has to come that you have to wake up, where you have to rise and smell the coffee and say to yourself, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I can't keep going on this way. It is until then that things will change. Behind everything that is working, there is a worker. There is somebody doing something about something that is working. If your life is going to move left, you have to turn left. Some of you this year, you have to be intentional about relationships. And you see, as we progress, I have plans for you all. I have serious plans this year. I have serious plans to help people get it right in certain things. And that's why you should stick around. I have serious plans. I have serious plans. You see, because when it comes to the issue of relationships, there are people that have not realized that God is not going to come down to do anything. God's strategy has always been man. It will always be men. So you must find your way around men. You must hack it. You must hack it. You must hack that relationship thing once and for all. Once and for all. Once and for all. The same number of people that you had contact with in 2025, if care is not taken, you will even lose some of them. Your circle of influence is not increasing. You're not meeting new people. No addition. You don't know how to keep friends. You don't know how to maintain relationships. You don't know how to step into new circles. Things are not going to change. It doesn't matter the amount of oil that is poured on your head. Until you find your way with men. Even Jesus had favor with God and he had favor with men. If Jesus was not in favor with men, his body would have slept in the grave. Nobody would have taken it. So you need men. Or come on, say you need men. I want you to type it there. I need men. I need men. Write it there. I want to see it in the comment section. I need men. You need men. Make sure you like, make sure you are sharing this to others. Yeah, you really do need men. You need men. You must find your way around this. You need men. You need men. There are people that think that all they need is to just, hide in their house. I don't like going out. I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that. That's why you'll be broke. That's why you'll be broke. That's why things are not going to work the way they need to work. That's why things are not going to work the way they need to work. Now, let me give you, I still have more than 4 here, but let me give you one more. I'm probably going to add another one to it. You see, this year also, avoid that mistake of having a victim mindset. That's the 4th one. A victim mindset. Do you know what a victim mindset is? A victim mindset is that mindset that you are the receiving end. It makes you feel like you really don't have a part to play in outcomes. But I'm saying you do. A victim mindset is the mindset of, what will be, will be. If it was not destined to come my way, it won't come. If it was destined to come my way, I will get it. If God has said 2026 is going to be a year that is going to be great, I will be great. And if God has said it's going to be a year that things will go this way, it will go this way. It's not true. God has placed the power of choice in your hands. He has given you the power to make choices. And that choices will determine outcomes. So you are in control. In fact, God is more limited in influencing your life than you are. I need you to see that. There is nobody that has the highest influence over your life than you. And it starts with understanding that. You see, the moment you understand that I can change, I can do something to change this, it changes. It starts with that awareness, that consciousness that I can't keep going like this. You see, the moment that comes, there is a blessing called the blessing of dissatisfaction. You need to be dissatisfied with certain things. In fact, that you are satisfied with things for a long period of time, it's a sign that something is wrong. You must learn to be bored about things easily. You have done something for a while. Now let's test something else. Let's take on new challenges. Let's do something else. Let's go all out. Put yourself out there. There are some of you that grew up in places where, your parents just pampered you. They don't want anything to happen to you. There are some times that you break those things and say, let's put ourselves out there. Let me jump and see if I really have wings to fly. Let me jump. There's a reason why God chose Peter. My God, I like that guy. It was not perfect, but it was the move maker. It was the one that was willing to step out. Even though he was going to sink in the water, but he said, if it be you, bid me come. If it be you, bid me come. None of the disciples had the experience of walking on water. When Jesus said, who do men say that I am? He didn't mention anybody's name. It was the one that spoke. Jesus again said, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you. He still went ahead and said, you cannot die. Jesus rebuked him, called him Satan. Get thee behind me. Are you seeing that now? He rebuked him. Others would have laughed. But Jesus noticed something. That you see, the day that I will need to be defended, this is the person that will speak for me. When they came, they wanted to arrest Jesus. Everybody ran. He brought out a sword. Jesus still said, no, it's not like this now. Put his ear back. Why are you cutting his ear? He said, even Bros J, you're not for me. He ran away. He denied Jesus. But you see, the day the Holy Ghost came, that somebody needed to speak up in defense of what was happening, it was still Peter that rose up and said something. Are you seeing the pattern? Hey, did you get that? You will be wrong. You see, the first mistake you will make is deciding not to make mistakes. That's a blunder. Deciding not to make mistakes is the first mistake you make about life, because you make mistakes. But be out there. That's how you call it. The person that did something and failed is better than the one that never even started. I'm saying this year, don't be scared of entering trouble. Get into trouble, you will come out. Get into trouble. Yes, I'm saying it. Get into trouble. You will come out of the trouble. You will come out. Yes, God will bring you out. You will find your way out. You will find your way out. In fact, there are things you will learn in coming out that no book will teach you. No book will teach you. And it will stay with you forever. So don't have the victim mindset that our leaders, they have done so and so thing. That's why I'm so and so place. My parents did things this way. That's why I'm here. For how long will you keep selling that narrative? For how long? Are you aware that there are people that already feel this year is not going to be great? There are people that feel like, there's nothing I can do to be in certain places. And there's some of you that are listening to me like that. You actually feel like, I don't think I'll be able to make much of this year. I don't think. What do I want to do? Who do I have? I'm telling you that the moment you start moving towards that thing, you will start seeing the things you have. You will. You will start seeing the things you have. You will start seeing the things you have. Step out. Step out. Record the song. It might not blow. It might not go viral. It might not, but you see, you have learned something. You will learn something. Put out the content. Write the book. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for validation. I've told you that this year, you see, one of the things I want to do is to have people that I can, help get certain things right. Help them get certain things right and, walk them step by step. There are some of you that you have gifts that can change your life forever, but you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to go about it. There are some of you that are watching people that are doing things that you can also do, and they are making fortunes out of what they have, that you also have. It tells you that the only thing that is different is a wisdom gap, a knowledge gap. There is something they know that you don't know. I was sharing now that someone was saying, he met me in my office and was saying, I can do this, I can do that, but nobody wants to employ me. They say I don't have experience. They say I'm too young. See, then there's nobody that is going to reject free service. Let me give you a secret. Listen, every great person that you see has a need. Every great person you see has a need. There is something in their life that they need people to fill in that void for. In your life, you will have access to people. You will have access to people. But you see, that you have access to them once does not mean that door will open or will keep being open forever. There are people that you have just 5 minutes to make an impression. If you will ever come back, or if they will ever call you back, will be dependent on what you are able to do in that 5 minutes. So what do you do? When you meet people that you know that you need this door open forever, don't first look for what to get from them. Look for what to give. Look for what to give. Look for a void to fill. You don't just hang around great people for hanging around sake. You must be doing something for them that is of value for them to keep you around. Access without responsibility only exists in the paradise of fools. Let me say that again. Access without responsibility only exists in the paradise of fools. You want to have access, but you don't want to be responsible in that sphere. That's not wisdom. You must look for ways that you can serve them. Listen, You may enter rooms because you are loved, but you will only stay in those rooms because you are needed. So you must also master the culture of moving from being loved and favored to being needed. What I'm saying now is maybe too harsh for somebody, but that's the truth. And I'm speaking. I think I'm just beginning to speak, even from my heart. There is a favor that comes for you because you are loved. Somebody just likes you and just decides to, oh yes, I like you. I like what you're doing. I just want to help you. There is that kind of favor. But you see, it won't always be like that forever. It won't always be like that forever. That's the baby dimension of favor. Now this is looking like heresy to some people. But you see, the other side of favor is that there is now a problem that you are the solution to. Because men are emotional beings. They have feelings. Your favor or access should not be dependent on how somebody feels. If they don't feel good about you, they can kick you out. But when you are needed, you are needed. That's also favor. That God opens doors unto you and makes you a solution to certain problems. That's favor. For Joseph, Potiphar likes him, makes him an overseer in his house. He got to prison, made him the head of the prisoners. But for you to come before Pharaoh, you won't just come because he likes you and remain because he likes you. Pharaoh didn't really like him, but because he was a solution, he was needed. And that was why after Pharaoh died, another Pharaoh rose that did not even care about Joseph, because the Israelites did not learn the culture of moving from being loved to being needed. They became liabilities. So people just stay there. They get into rooms, they get around people, they get into system, and you are not thinking of a solution to be a problem to be a solution to. You must think that way. What can I solve? What can I do? How can I be an addition? If they have to sack everybody in your organization and your name makes it, something is wrong. I've always said this, that if your absence is not felt, then your presence was never needed. If your absence is not felt, your presence was never needed. The people that are missing, nobody cares, nobody knows. The day they show up, they say, oh, wow, where have you been? It's because they didn't make their presence felt. Very important. In the wilderness, manna is favor. It will come. It is a meal that you know nothing about. Because God loves you. You're an Israelite, chosen. Chosen people, you don't have to work for it. But when you get to the land flowing with milk and honey, it will cease. Then you will have to till the ground. But it is still called the land flowing with milk and honey. So real favor is not when you are loved. It's when you have become a solution and when you are needed. So make up your mind to be a solution provider. If you cannot walk, crawl. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot fly, run. Just make sure you are moving. Make sure you are making progress. Make sure you are making progress. Make sure you are making progress. And I want to help you on this journey. If you're not on the community, the platform, all right, get access to it. You can check me out on Instagram. Check the bio, Prematurely Academy. Or Prematurely on Instagram. Make sure you're following. Share this with as many people as possible. So we're going to be having this from time to time, and over time I'm going to, bring out more specific, all right, sessions. But this year we are together. Are we together or not? Let me know if we are together. Type, let me see. We are together. We are together. All right. Let me see those that are with me. We are together, and I trust that your life will never remain the same. This year is loaded, and my heart is so indicting good matters. All right. There is a lot that we are going to do together this year. All right. And I believe this year started on a good note, and we're going to run with that. So stay tuned, stay consistent, and I want to really appreciate those people, many of you that go about sharing the content that we are putting out with other people, those that engage, giving comments and all. God bless you. I really appreciate it. I want to encourage everyone to also do that. It doesn't bite. And make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you subscribed. All right. So I'm going to end this here till I come your way again next time. I love you so much. Thank you for doing this with me. God bless you. Bye-bye.